Remember how everyone thought Ted Bundy was a great guy? How he wasn't capable of doing such atrocities because he was just so damn good looking? Well, take Ted Bundy, give him Alan Rickman like grace, and Smog's cavalier incumbency, and the overriding desire to make money from spilling blood. You have Top Hat, the enemy of the silk fedora. In college, I wanted to watch every single Fred Astaire movie because I thought he was so perfect and so beautiful, which he is. The name Top Hat originally came from one of his films. In 1935, Fred Astaire is just so charming.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was disturbing you.
And he has this dance number in a tuxedo called
Top Hat, White Pine Tails.
He's dancing around perfectly, as Fred Astaire was famous for. Throughout the song, an army of tuxes dance alongside Fred Astaire. Near the end of the song, the line of tuxes, this army of tuxes, comes up behind Fred Astaire. This is the moment where Top Hat was created, because Fred Astaire takes his cane and starts shooting down every single one of these tuxes. And that's when it clicked in my head that this character could be a villain shooting down all of his minions for disappointing him. And it stuck. And this is where Silk's enemy was born. He would be named Top Hat, since Silk has a name after her hat. And a lot of people thought it was childish to name characters after hats. And they told me to change the names, and I wouldn't because I loved the names. As you discover in the book, these names are only pseudonyms, as superheroes and supervillains do. For example, DC Comics has a character named Batman. If you had never heard of Batman or superheroes and heard that there was a character called Batman, you would think, that's ridiculous. That's such a dumb name. But it's the power and the magnitude of this character that makes his name synonymous with mystique, omnipotence, and supreme crime-fighting abilities. When writing this character, I always pictured him as Alan Rickman. His portrayal of Judge Turpin in Sweeney Todd was especially influential.
Mark me. If I see your face again on this street, you'll rue the day you were born.
Side note, this is also where Kane comes from.
You heard what Judge Turpin said, little man. Next time, it'll be your pretty little brains all over the pavement.
Again, silly name, but he becomes so much more throughout the novel than just his name. As I continued to write, Top Hat fleshed out further into a psychopath. I needed some good examples, hence this is where Ted Bundy comes into play. He became a very strong influence in creating Top Hat. Many classic villains are portrayed as ugly or crude. The idea of Ted Bundy being this overly charming gentleman with handsome good looks, capable of terrible and appalling acts, is somewhat unique to some villains. Speaking of classic villains, Benedict Cumberbatch's motion capture performance of Smaug from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit is another helpful source for me.
I hear your breath. I feel your air.
The way he literally threw himself into the role and the physicality really helped me bring about the gestures and motions of Top Hat. After Alan Rickman's passing, Benedict Cumberbatch became a closer resemblance to Top Hat in my mind's eye. And now, after finishing the novel, Top Hat has fleshed out to a point where he's neither Alan Rickman nor Benedict Cumberbatch, but a fully fleshed out character in my mind. I hope this video has given you some insight into writing a villain. Watching and studying examples helps so much to nail down the idea. Research is a huge key when it comes to writing. I watched several videos about psychopathic and sociopathic behaviors, which was also a great resource. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. And as always, be good, make good choices.